Please share with me your first, last name, where you're located, and the name of your business and or books that you may have written.
Yes, I'm Stacey Sherman, and I'm the founder of Doing CX Right. For those that don't know what CX is, it's customer experience, which is fueled by the employee experience and workforce experience. And I have a book all about transforming your customer experience through journey management. It's
Yes.
on pre-sale in Amazon right now. And I have LinkedIn learning courses also that really help people learn how to do this right, not just think about it and talk about it.
Tell me a little bit about your experience before doing customer CX right.
Yeah, so I grew up in sales and marketing. I have a master's degree in marketing. And when I was in corporate for over 25 years, one of the roles happened to be where I was in marketing at that time. And my boss says, here's customer experience and service. You need to handle it too. And I said, okay, but what does that mean?
Yeah.
And he said, go figure that out. And I said, okay. I was a little angry at that moment because that
Yes.
wasn't very supportive, but now I figure everything out and I've taken the leap into this field
Mhm.
because I believe that we don't have to have frustrating experiences
Mhm.
and it's in our control as company leaders. And we also benefit as a society
Mhm.
by those enhanced experiences. So I started to work in different departments of companies, really leading and measuring the experiences, designing the experiences, and then took that whole practice to my own company to help companies, clients, big, small, really know that they are delivering a great experience so people come back and tell others.
Yes, yes, and just like you said, the support pretty much led you into where you're at now, though, because the lack thereof, meaning you had to actually figure it out on your own, which now, as of I believe 2023, you decided to take that leap. So in that leap that you made, what was the boldest move when saying goodbye to corporate that you experienced?
Oh, it is so bold and it was so scary. And in the beginning, I was actually grieving, but I
Mhm.
didn't know that it was grieving. And I was actually thinking I was crazy because nobody died,
Right.
but I was grieving. And
Yes.
so it was a sadness and confusion because all I knew was the corporate way and the corporate box and my title, and this is where I live and breathe. You don't go outside the boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the beginning, it was really scary, messy, and exciting
Yeah.
because it was big blue sky that I could do whatever I wanted. And I literally did what someone told me. They said, "Stacey, it's time to bet on yourself." I've been doing that for as a mom of 2
Mhm.
young adult kids. I've been doing that with my friends and family and everyone and people that worked for me, betting on them. And so now bet on myself. And it's fun and it's exciting and I'm learning every single day.
Do me a favor and tell me about your vision for this.
Yeah, my vision was not a straight line in the beginning. In fact, I had started doing CX Right was a blog when I was working at Verizon. And I was just telling the world how what I was seeing from not Verizon, but from living as a consumer, what I saw and what I studied was not a good experience. And so I decided to put out the blog. And I had no idea if anyone would ever read it. And they did. And then I started to get on podcasts and such. So, point of story is that for those listening, start before you're ready. I
Mhm.
didn't know why I was blogging and podcasting initially, but here I am. I grew a baby. I birthed a baby, and here it's been growing with me. And now I know why. And now I'm able to take it to a career. It's been a career, but start before you know why.
Mhm.
And so, my mission now that I'm into this, going into my third year, is that through speaking on global stages,
Yeah.
through my content writing and partnership and advising companies, my mission is to really help them understand that people don't just buy on price.
Yeah.
People don't stay with companies because they have to. There's a lot of options. And so, if you as a company, even if you're an entrepreneur, you have partners, you have freelancers, contractors, you need to really design an experience of how people interact with your company,
Mhm. Mhm.
from how they learn, buy, get, use, pay, get help. And I'm on a mission to help people understand, how do you do that? How do you do it right? How do you make sure that you're really meeting people's needs, their needs, not your own? And I have a formula for that.
I tell you, one of the most important things you said is start before you begin, right? Because you didn't know the reason why you were doing it. And lo and behold, and in my mind, Stacey, I was like, she branded herself before she even need to be branded. I love it. I love it. Because brand is everything. I think the what you upheld in your company at Verizon, all you did was just carry it over to doing CX right. And I think that that's just doing it right. Look, I love that.
Yes. And so, to no surprise, my formula is the right formula, the right way.
Yes.
And it's all about what's in your control, because we can't control a lot of things happening and some of the chaos in the world, but we can control the way we do business, the way we show up, the way we communicate.
Mhm.
And so that's what I'm helping people not only survive, but thrive in their life and in their business.
Yes. So with that being said, the biggest topic, especially in entrepreneurship and customer service experience, would be AI. Talk
Huh.
to me about that and how you what does that look like now?
Yes. So we are living in an AI world. People are fearful. Some people are embracing. Some people are running away. At the end of the day, you can't run, you can't hide. It is here. It's expanding quickly, and we can't even keep up. Every time I wake up, there's some new AI solution. So, my point is, my passion is to say, okay, while we're living in this AI space,
Mhm.
we can do both. We can actually have sustainable revenue using technology to save time, to be more efficient, without taking the human compassion and heart out of the equation. You can do both and not either or.
Yes.
And in fact, you have to. If you don't, people will go to your competitors.
Yes, yes. And it's interesting. I'm reading this book called Who, Not How. And I think the who can now be AI, right? You don't necessarily have to go find an actual human being. It's the who, it's the person that could help you or the thing that could help you so that you can focus on the things that you're great at. And as you mentioned, when it comes to customer service experience, you don't lose the person, but maybe you could work on yourself better and let AI do the stuff that you really don't like doing anyway.
Well, absolutely. That's a great use case. The thing leaders need to understand, and I say leaders, everybody is a leader, even if it's not in your job title, and that is, use AI. For example, if you have a chat bot on your website
Mhm.
and you're giving people the opportunity to chat and find information on your website quickly to navigate, but somebody is constantly typing agent, support, help,
Yes.
then train the technology to know to pass it on to a human being. And so it's the collaboration, it's the both and the companies that are not doing that are going to suffer and lose the customer, their patients. They're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. I never even thought about that. So after hours, most people are usually on their phone. They're like, hey, I have some stuff to do. And then, you go to the webpage, you'll see the chat. In our mind, the thought is like, hey, if I say agent, an agent will pop up. But just like you said, if AI isn't trained to say, hey, the hours are closed or there's no agent on, we could call you back, then I never even thought about that. Awesome, Stacey.
Well, one more thing, and this comes from working on teams that managing these customer service agents, and that is if the human being doesn't give the agent, the chatbot or human, if they don't give them a library of information that's accurate and updated, they're going to give the wrong content to the customer.
Yeah.
So again, you can have the best technology, but if the information, if marketing comes up with a promotion code and the agent doesn't know about it, that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, is that a behind the scenes problem as far as for the company, and how now that you're doing this and you're teaching companies and teams to do better at this, what would you say to somebody? It's like, hey, your bot's not botting.
Yeah. So, and that's bot to human. There's bots to
Yes,
bots too.
yes.
So the answer is you need to design the customer experience, and there's a real journey, and there's journey mapping,
Hmm, hmm.
which I teach people. So that way, when you're designing how does a customer interact, or a prospect, they might not even be a customer yet, how do you make sure that what they're experiencing, where's the human touch point and where's the technology touch point, and where do they connect?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so
Okay.
it's designing, and there's this domino effect. And what happens is, whether you're a small team or big, people don't realize the domino effect of where one role begins and one ends. They're just in their own silos.
Yeah, yeah.
And so even if you're a small company, you have partners, you have technology teams, there has to be that unified experience, and
Yeah.
design it that way.
Yes, yes. And that's good to hear and that's good to know. With that even being said, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are coming out, and it is often stated utilize AI, it's going to help you. What tips do you have for entrepreneurs, especially newer ones, that's probably being asked, like, hey, would you like AI? I think it could give you some help. What tips would you have for them?
Well, first of all, I would start with a persona, meaning define who is your audience. Who are they? Put
Yeah,
a name to the person,
yeah.
right? If you said the demographics, the age, their income, I have a template you could use.
Okay.
So you define who you want to talk to, and then you design through a journey map, and it can be literally on a whiteboard. It doesn't have to be fancy, but what does that person go through? How are they going to learn about you? Is it through a podcast?
Mhm.
Is it through events? Is it social media? How are they going to learn about you and become aware?
Yeah.
How are they going to buy from you? Is it an e-commerce? Is it a retail store? Right? So there's a whole path,
Mhm, mhm.
and I want you to literally go through the journey. But then once you do that, how you think that they're going to interact and buy from you and get help from you,
Mhm.
then go to that persona that you designed. Let's
Mhm.
say it's someone like me. You would come to me and say, hey, I've got this new product or service. Here's what I believe will help meet your needs and how you can get it and use it and get help. Let me walk this through. Can you give me feedback?
Mhm.
That's gold, because then well, that's good, but you missed the mark there. So you can tweak it
Yeah,
and then go to market and just constantly reiterate,
yeah.
improve, test, analyze, adjust, repeat.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.